Hey, good morning. I'm feeling a bit warmer today, so I'm a little bit summery. Summer is actually on its way, and the sun is blazing through the family room this morning. I'm going to work in about an hour, so I thought I'd just do a quick video log. And thank God the rain is gone. Really, I'm so thankful. It's been horrendous. The weather has been cold. It's been vile. I believe it's raining tomorrow, but hopefully it's not going to be anything like it has been. And yeah, I'm just happy because I am a summer person, and I didn't come to Australia for the rain. Having said that, I know Australia needs the rain. The reservoirs need to fill, and we need to get through a really hot summer that's coming. But I'm just glad. I'm just glad to see the sun. Really am. I say it's been long, but has it? I mean, the weather. It's probably been a couple of months, and I mean, look, when you look in the UK, it's rain. It rains all the time to an extent. It either either drizzles every day, or it's just grey. And so it is sunny here, and that's wonderful. That's what I like to see. So I'm not moaning. I'm not being a whinging pom. Believe me. Um, okay. So today I want to talk a bit about my home country, as you would expect. I often talk about Britain, but at the moment I think it's doubly important to talk about Britain. I've been looking on the television every morning, and it's just shocking the state of the country where I grew up. Let me put it into some perspective. I had um, a woman I was talking to a couple of days ago, and she said to me she came to Western Australia to live in the 1980s, um, early 80s, when the country was a mess. And that was in the early days of the Margaret Thatcher government. And she said, literally, they wanted to get out and they wanted to restart, or they wanted to start a new life. And she said, when you look at the scenes from Britain today, they very much look like it was then. Now, Britain's a funny place. It's you either love it or you hate it. I love my country. I love where I grew up. I love my family. I love the politics. Now the politics is an important thing for me, and I've always been into it in some shape or form. I've actually joined a political party here in Western Australia. I'm not able to vote here yet, but it's kind of like a precursor to that, if you like. And I am really, really happy to to be part of politics wherever I am in the world. I followed it in Spain, I followed it here, and I follow it everywhere. So it's an important part of all our lives, and I think it should be. I actually think it should be on the school curriculum. I really do, and also well, there should be politics. There should also be the constitution. All of this type of stuff should be on the school curriculum, and kids should be taught about it. They are in a kind of way, but nothing particularly, you know, wonderful. Um, Flag burning, flag raising. What is this about the flag? I mean, really? Look, last night at the proms, I love to see the flag flying. I love seeing the flag in the streets, on buildings, people's gardens. I love seeing it. I really do. And I'm not a flag waver per se, but I think everyone should have the right to do that if they wish. I don't believe people should hijack it for far right purposes, which has happened in the past. And these so called flag wavers now, putting up St George's crosses on lampposts, etc., they're not necessarily the most wonderful, nicest people in the world. I saw a couple of them interviewed on Sky News, and they barely had a brain cell between them. And they are hijacking the flag for their own right-wing purposes, in my opinion. I don't object to people flying it, but do it within the law. Absolutely. The one thing that does annoy me is the Palestinian flag can be flown everywhere. It's not removed, it's not taken down. Yet, when the British flag is flown, it's removed by councils and those in authority. And I find that objectionable. I find it distasteful. As I said to you, I'm conservative with a small c. I am a homosexual man, but I come from a Christian country. And I suppose that in many respects, I feel that my identity as a Christian, because I am a Christian, whether or not I am homosexual is another matter. But the fact I am a Christian and I come from such a country, I find that my identity is being eroded, and I find that I don't have the same voice I would have had in the past. I am not far right. I am not right wing. So get that out of your heads. I am not. How can a gay person be far right? It just does not happen. It cannot happen. Having said that, I've spoken about GB News before, but it's the only channel that I can actually get, or news channel that I can watch in Australia now. Even Sky has been scrambled as such. I can just about get it on my phone using a VPN, but I cannot get it on my smart TV anymore. So I am being given really limited views of the UK. I do have Fetch TV here, which is, I suppose it's akin to your Freeview in the UK. So I can get the BBC, but I hate the BBC. I cannot stand it. I hate the BBC News with a passion. GB News has more gay presenters on it than I've seen on TV ever in my lifetime. And that to me is quite astonishing, that they are on this so-called right-wing channel. It is a very, very nationalistic right-wing channel. But having said that, they do have different points of view. So they will have people from other political parties as well. And it is really lively debate. The debate is wonderful. I do watch on a Sunday, it's on a Sunday morning here, the Saturday 5 on GB News, which is great. It is like 2 hours of absolute mayhem, and as for a political person like me, it's great. It gives me that connection back to the UK. It allows me to listen to different points of view, but it's kind of no holds barred. So they say what they feel, and individuals should be allowed to say what they feel. Absolutely. So watching the news this morning, I saw that Nigel Farage has gone to the UK. Sorry, has gone to America. So Parliament's open. It's ready for business, and he's disappeared off yet again, and he's given an anti-British European speech to the Americans. Where's the logic? I mean, look, that man wants to be a prime minister, or the prime minister of Britain. Yet he slags off his home country to the ground. I slag off Britain when it deserves it, for sure. But I grew up in a country that has free speech. It still has free speech. The man is deluded. Farage is deluded. Britain has free, total and utter speech. But you have to be careful about what you say. If you're inciting violence or riots, then is that really free speech? Is that really the done thing? Should you be allowed to do that? No, what the hell? Of course you shouldn't. Absolutely not. I mean, look, can you imagine that man in charge The absolute God, the country would be a mess. It just doesn't make any sense to me. He should be an upstanding member of the community. He should support the fact that people do not incite violence or should not incite violence. Yet he's championing people that went to jail for, attacking various sections of society and, not causing, but inciting violence in such a way that hotels were set fire to. That's not normal behaviour. It's really not. I have my issues with Britain. I speak to my dad every week. So my dad and me we're not polar opposites on the political scale, but we're actually very similar in a lot of ways. But I'm a lot less left wing radical than my father. He is way to the left of me, and so we also have lively debate as well. And I don't know much about the Labour government over there at the moment, and because I really don't want to comment much because I don't, I just don't know. I only hear or see what I see on the television, and I see that Sir Keir Starmer is really, really unpopular, and I can see why. I mean, he's introducing policies that are, gosh, I never thought I'd see a Labour government introducing. His Chancellor is useless, totally useless. Don't forget, this is my perception. This is what I'm seeing on the television, and they are taking from the money from people who can least afford it, and you are going to upset these people. You really are, and they have a right to be concerned. They have a right to be upset, and they have a right to protest. Everyone does. Is he a good Prime Minister? He's no Tony Blair. He's definitely no Margaret Thatcher. He chops and changes. He moves from one thing to the other, and they seem to be making up immigration policy off the hoof, and I don't know. I just don't know. Because one of the main things that I see on the television a lot over in the UK is the small boats crisis, and I did a little bit of delving into it, so a little bit of reading, and the small boats coming in via the Channel are a very, very small percentage of immigration, even illegal immigration. It's a tiny, tiny percentage, and it looks bad because certain sectors of the media, especially, and other political persuasions pick up on this and they blow it out of all proportion. Now, my view is rather like the Australian view, and probably like, the Conservative view or the Reform view, that these people should be immediately sent back and they should not be allowed in the country. When you see these small boats coming in, they are largely men, and I think I read that 25% were women and children, but the rest were men, and that is scary. These people tend to find it difficult to integrate in Britain, and I really truly believe that if you enter a country illegally, you should be deported straight away. That would happen in Australia. That happens in the United States. Yet these people are being put up in 4-star hotels. How is that possible? Why is the British government paying for that? I don't get it. I really don't. This is not me being racist, because I believe in immigration, unlike Reform and the Tories. I believe strongly in immigration. I live in a state in Western Australia where 33% of us are immigrants, including me. I'm an immigrant. So I strongly believe in that. Over here, we all live together perfectly well. There's no problems. There's no, there's no violence. It's perfect. If it was a utopia, it would be fine. I have my issues with Australia, don't get me wrong, but for people living together as a group, it works amazingly well. My husband works for an Asian company and he loves it. He adores it. He adores the people he works with. We live in a very multicultural area as well. And we have no issues. I have no issues at all. So it's a great thing. But when you enter a country illegally, you should be removed. And that's the right thing to do. Absolutely. Because the British taxpayer, which funnily enough actually includes me, is paying for this. We're paying to put these people in hotels. That's not good. That's not right. And there are people of all races, genders in the United Kingdom who are poor, in need of money, they are suffering through financial hardship, and they need the support. Yet we're funneling or channeling money into housing illegal immigrants in hotels. Where's the logic? There is no logic at all. So when I look at the UK, it's upsetting, really, because it kind of puts me off going back, and I've got to go back at some point, obviously, just to see people and just see how everyone is, and my father especially. But it really does put you off. And the people I've talked to that are travelling to the UK within the next few weeks are sort of saying, look, I really don't want to go, but I've got to go. I mean, the biggest problem is when you live in Australia. I think the biggest actually immigrant population in Western Australia is British. So we have a huge British contingent here, and they do go back home regularly. I haven't been for 3 years. I've got to get back probably next year. But they are literally reluctant to go back because of the mess it's in. Now, whether that's a perceived mess or whether it is actually a mess, I don't know because I don't live there. I mean, I hear stories about the cost of living in the UK, but the cost of living here is astronomical. I pay $450 a week on food. That's just food. That's huge. That's more than what I ever paid in the UK. What was an example I can give you? Kilo of what did I buy? Kilo of tomatoes the other day, $12. $12, and there were like 6 tomatoes in there for $12. That's mad. Tiny block of cheese for $12, $13, $14. The prices here are out of this world. A loaf of bread, $5. And I know, excuse me, I've got something in my eye. I've had something in my eye all morning actually. And I know when I was in the UK, you could get a cheap loaf of bread selling in Tesco for about 80p, which is about, I don't know, $1.50. And I can see. You can't get that here. You just can't. So there's kind of no cheap alternatives in this country. I went to get some grapes the other day, and I really fancied some. And for a little thing of grapes, it was like it was 12. What was it? That was about 12. No, $19. $19 for a kilo. You don't know how lucky you are, really, living there. I mean, look, the standard of living here is a lot higher. Our wages are a lot higher. I mean, I'm lucky because I've had my electricity paid now for God knows how long. So the West Australian government has been paying money into my electricity account to help us. The mortgage we have is relatively low, but I've doubled it. So we pay, what do we pay? I'm paying about $3,000 a month to my mortgage, and it will be paid off within 7-8 years. That's what I wish to do, but we don't have to do that. My mortgage really is about $1,300. So the mortgage is relatively low. When I look at the cost of housing in the UK, especially sort of where I came from, so the south coast, you're talking about £1,500 a month to rent somewhere. You know, so it swings and roundabouts really. Australia is, it's many things. I fall out of love with it. I fall in love with it. It's been very good to me. It's allowed me to buy a house. It's allowed me to live a really, really affluent lifestyle. And I'm really, really happy in that respect. But I don't have a network of people around me, which is very difficult. I keep in contact with people back home. I also get their views on what's going on in Britain as well. And they are all saying the same thing. It's dreadful. It's awful. It needs to change. Something needs to happen. So in that respect, I'm glad to be here. The lady I spoke to a couple of days ago said the same thing. We're very lucky to be able to live in Australia because we are not part of the problem in the UK. We don't see it every day on our doorstep. And if we did, it would probably shock us to the core. Really would. So that's it for today. I've had a little bit of a rant. We are, as I said, going on holiday very soon. And it's going to be, I'll be blogging and blogging every single day. So hopefully you will also be a part of that and let me know what you think of where we are, what we're doing, people we're seeing, and places we're visiting. So until then, I'm probably going to sign out. I will probably do a few short sort of vlogs for the next couple of weeks, but they'll be very, very short until we sort of go on holiday because I have a lot to do while I'm travelling. And I always keep about 2 hours aside each day just to do blogging and vlogging. And Daryl usually goes off to the pool. We are meeting a friend, as I said, in Singapore, so he will be there as well. So we're going to keep Jason occupied while I just do my writing. So that's going to be quite an extensive thing for me. It's a bit like a busman's holiday, if you like. I wouldn't have it any other way. So, till then, ciao.